Hello, this is Rainbow Star, the reader, signing in. And today, I think I finally got this, because it was taking a while, but here we go. I'm going to be reading a chapter from a Klance Oneshots book, and I have the permission to do so. So, no copyright strikes, okay? Every book I read on this channel, I have asked permission to read. This is a reread because last time it ended at 1 minute. So, this is time to do a reread of the one-shot called Kik. Gonna have to give me a second. I'm eating a Whopper, which is a type of candy. But I honestly would prefer I have Japanese candy, but I don't have any. I am probably going to fall over at name pronunciations. How's about this? I'm just not going to pronounce last names. Because I suck at that. I have a hard last name myself, so I will not be pronouncing last names, as to not piss anyone off. Starting the one-shot called Kik. That boy. Hey, bud. Keith's phone buzzed, and he smiled, knowing who it was. He pulled out his phone and started replying. He was in class at the moment, but his teacher was always completely oblivious. You are gay. Hi. That boy. What you up to? You are gay. School? That boy. Well, same. Me too. That boy and Keith have been talking to each other for months. Whoever he was, he texted Keith on accident, but they ended up just keeping on talking. Keith may have developed certain feelings towards him after a while. It was kind of weird, however. They didn't even know who they really were talking to, or where they lived, for that matter. They only knew trying to eat something, I'm sorry. They only knew they were the same age. Keith felt it was better that way, for now. And that boy respected that. That boy, do you know what today is? You are gay. Now, what's today? That boy, it's our 7-month anniversary. You're gay. I think it means, what do you mean? Or what you mean. I'm just gonna say, what you mean? That boy. You're so dumb. That boy. 7 months ago today, I texted you by accident. You're gay. Oh, yeah. Huh. That boy. Yes. You're gay. Well, happy anniversary. That boy. Yes, love you, bud. You're gay. Heart emoji. That boy. I'm super happy. You're gay. Why's that? That boy. My girlfriend is flying in from Cuba today, and I can't wait to see her. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. Keith froze, staring at his screen. He never knew that boy had a girlfriend. You're gay. You have a girlfriend? That boy. Yep. Going on 2 years in a few days. You're gay. Oh, congrats. That boy. Thanks, man. Heart emoji. Keith put his phone away, feeling a buzz a few more times, but not bothering to look. Of course he had a girlfriend. He's so nice and caring and perfect. Why did Keith think he would ever be with him? He didn't even know who he was. The bell rang, dismissing class, and Keith quickly left. You shouldn't be upset about that boy having a girlfriend, but he was. He actually knew a lot about that boy. He knew he had a large family. He was the second oldest, 6 younger siblings. Keith knew one of his younger ones. He talked to him before. His name was Matteo. That boy left his phone open, so Matteo found Kik and ended up texting Keith. Keith knew that boy loved stars. He sent Keith a picture of his ceiling, covered in glow-in-the-dark stars. He said that he always likes to count his stars before falling asleep. He wished he was there with that boy, cuddled up under the blankets, staring at those very stars. But now images of that boy with his girlfriend under the stars came to Keith's mind. Keith knew that boy didn't like silence. Living in such a large family, it's never really a thing. That boy says he talks a lot because he feels uncomfortable when it's just being quiet. He says he annoys one person in particular with all his talking, but he didn't mind. It was fun to annoy his friend. Keith knew that boy was bi, which first sparked Keith's interest towards him. Unfortunately for that boy, his parents weren't very understanding of that way of life, so he's never come out to them. Keith felt bad. That boy seems like an amazing person. He's just so happy about a lot of things. He's happy about a lot of things. So he's happy about a lot of things. But he has to live with the thought of his family not accepting him for who he was. Keith knew he really liked that boy. What's got your mullet in a bunch? Lance snickered at Keith. And at Keith when he sat at their table, at their lunch table. Pidge was at her computer, and Hunk was opening his very elaborate lunch. Keith rolled his eyes. None of your business. Lance just shrugged, going back to talking to Hunk. Keith ended up zoning out during lunch period. He just thought about that boy. He realizes how weird that sounds, but if he didn't explain it was some guy on Keith, someone would think he was in love with that stupid frog. Keith, you sure you're okay? Pidge asked Keith, finally looking up from her computer. Keith nodded. Yeah, I'm fine. Keith hasn't told any of them about that boy. He knew Pidge would definitely be asking a lot of questions. What's he like? How long have you two been talking? When are you getting married? Keith rolled his eyes at the thought. There's Lance. Of course, he would certainly be teasing Keith about this. He did not want to have to put up with that. Once lunch was over, they had to head back to their classes. Keith checked his phone, opening Kik. He remembered he was upset about that boy having a girlfriend. He can't seem to not talk to that boy. That boy, I haven't seen her in months, so I'm a little nervous. Do you think I should get her some flowers and maybe some chocolate? That boy, maybe we can go down to the beach or see a movie. That boy, you are gay. You've been dating for almost 2 years. Why are you nervous about this? That boy, well, she's a hard girl to please. She's super fancy, and her family's pretty rich. Keith frowned. Oh, she sounds like a spoiled brat. You're gay. What have you done with her before? That boy. Well, we've gone out to dinner. It was this super nice place with fancy food and cool junk like that. That boy, I ended up spending almost $200 there. Keith's jaw dropped. $200 on a girl? You are gay. That sounds a bit excessive for just a girl. That boy. She's not just a girl, though. That boy is typing. That boy. She's one of the most nicest, considerate, charming people I have ever met. Whenever I see her, my chest tightens, and when I talk to her, I really have to think about what I want to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing to her, or she might not like it. I don't want to make her mad at me or hate me, but I want to show her how much I love her. You're gay. You shouldn't be afraid of saying the wrong thing to her. You're in a relationship with her. You should be comfortable enough with her to be the weird-ass person you are around her. Be the weird-ass person you are. That boy. Wow, thanks. You're gay. That was a compliment, you dork. Keith grimaced at himself. Did he really just do the winky face at that boy? I just got interrupted by my mom. Going to continue. That boy. Well, thanks for the help. You're a real pal. Keith felt a punch to the gut. You are gay. Yeah, no problem. That boy. I might have to leave school early and buy her something nice before she gets here. You're gay. Have fun. Keith wanted to talk to that boy, but he was probably with his girlfriend by now. He tried to focus on homework, but would always end up looking at the time. It was 5 o'clock. Keith just wanted it to be 10 already. He and that boy usually talk again when they're in bed. Once they talked until 4 in the morning. Nighttime was always about nighttime was like a better time to talk about more serious things. So, if they had any problems or just felt down, they'd confide in each other at that time. It was 11. Keith hadn't heard anything from that boy. He was still awake in bed, his phone resting on his chest. He always charges his phone at night. That way it'd be good to go by morning. Keith decided he'd just tell that boy he was going to bed. Maybe he'll respond. You're gay. Hey, I'm going to bed. You are gay. Hope you had a good time with your girlfriend. Keith didn't want to add that last part. That boy. Hey, That boy. Sorry I didn't talk to you today. You're gay. It's fine. I assumed you were with your girlfriend. That boy. Right. Keith noticed the period. Texting code. A period means that something serious is going on. You're gay. Is everything okay? That boy. It's fine. Okay. It's most certainly not fine. You're gay. What's wrong? That boy. Nothing's wrong. You're gay. You know this. I know this. No one uses periods unless something's wrong. That boy. I'm fine. You are gay. There's no going back on it now. What's going on? Did something happen? That boy is typing. That boy. No. You're gay. Stop lying. That boy. I'm not. You're gay. I'll find out where you live and break in and force you to tell me if you don't. That boy. That's creepy. You're gay. Can you please tell me what's wrong? You're gay. This is why we talk to each other at night. So we can talk about the things that's troubling us. That boy. She broke up with me. Keith didn't know how to respond. Well, shit. I didn't think this would happen. That boy. She flew in to see her family. She said I was too childish for her and had no intention of actually seeing me. You're gay. Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm messing up a bit. Sorry. That boy. You were right. I hid my real self from her, making her happy. And then I got too excited and I got carried away when I saw her. She looked shocked. She's a bitch. You're gay. Okay. So is this breakup a good thing? That boy. I think so. But right now, I just feel bad. You're gay. Don't feel bad. She was a horrible person for saying that to you. That boy. I feel bad about myself. You're gay. What's there to feel bad about? You're perfect. Keith blushed, realizing he just sent that to that boy. I'm such an idiot. You're gay. I mean, you'll find someone else who likes you. Who really likes you and knows you. You're gay. I've gotten to know you really well and can see that you're amazing and worth the wait. That boy. What you mean worth the wait? Keith groaned to himself, wanting to throw his phone. That boy. Who would want to wait for me? You're gay. I don't know. But there's someone out there who likes you. That boy. If they're out there, why haven't they told me? You're gay. Maybe because you had a girlfriend and he didn't want to ruin your friendship. Keith may or may not have been on the verge of tears, but then he reread his message. You're gay. She. You're gay. I'm going to bed. He decided to turn off his phone and shut his eyes. He didn't want to see what that boy said. Keith noticed Lance wasn't himself the next day. He didn't say much, and that was just weird. Hunk and Pidge tried to get him to talk, but he shook his head. Keith shrugged and continued eating his lunch. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Lance suddenly said, glaring at Keith. It's nice not hearing you run your mouth all the time. Lance's glare darkened, and he turned away. You should be upset more often. Did Keith know that was harsh? Yes. But did Lance have it coming? but Lance had it coming. He was a pest with Keith. "You're such a dick, you know that?" Lance shouted, startling everyone. "You don't care about anyone but yourself." Keith rolled his eyes. "God, why are we friends?" "Who said we were friends?" Lance's eyes teared up and he jumped at Keith, tackling him to the floor. Pigeon Hunk jumped up and tried to tear them apart. "Guys, stop. Come on, violence isn't the answer. He started it." "How did I start it? You were the one who snapped at me." "You just don't care." "You said that already." "Because it's true." "Enough." The principal's voice rang through the cafeteria. Keith and Lance looked up. Lance on top of him, his hands gripping his shirt. "You two, my office, now." They stood up. Lance bumped his shoulder into Keith's as he walked past him. "Okay, what happened out there?" They sat in the office next to each other, facing the principal. "He started it," Keith mumbled. Lance was going to protest. "I don't care who started it. The two of you are going to sit here and finish it together. With words." Lance and Keith glared at each other. "Lance, go." "I can leave?" Keith sighed, earning another glare from Lance. "She means talk, you dork." I don't feel like ringing. I'm sorry, I'm not as cracked screen. I cannot read that. I'm sorry. I'm not as intelligent as... Can't read it. Sorry. The cracks are covering up every last name, so I'm going to apologize. At least I don't act dumb like Lance McLean. I don't act dumb. So then you're just dumb? Unlike you, I have problems. I didn't even want to come to school today. Then why did you? My parents don't like me missing school. I was dumped yesterday. But do they care? No. They just care about my grades. I've got 7 siblings, and they don't have time for me. Keith could see Lance getting worked up. I only have one real friend. He's always there for me. You're never there for me, Keith. And I don't even know him. That drives me crazy. Keith's mouth was starting to open in shock. There are too many coincidences here. Lance, you calm down, please. Lance covered his eyes, tears rolling down his cheeks. The principal sighed, looking at the two. I'm going to leave you here for 5 minutes. If you don't make up by the time I get back, you're both getting detention. She stood and left them alone. Keith just sat and listened to Lance cry. "Hey," he said softly. Lance didn't hear him. "Hey." Keith laid a hand on Lance's arm. Lance looked up at him. "I'm sorry," Keith mumbled and looked away. "We all have our own issues. I know I'm a jerk." "Yeah, you are." Lance wiped his eyes. "I know. I'm sorry." "Yes, I know. I'm sorry." Lance seemed to calm down. "Sorry, too. I shouldn't have said anything. No, I deserve to be tackled." Keith smiled a little. "I'm gonna be feeling that bump in the head the in the morning. Lance looked down, smiling. Sorry about that. They didn't say anything for a while. Keith looked over at Lance, his legs starting to bounce slightly. He looked a little nervous. Keith didn't want to believe it, but now he knew it was true. You don't like the silence, Keith stated. Lance looked at Keith. Huh? Having such a large family, you're not used to it being quiet. That's why you listen to music while you sleep. How? You love the stars. You always count your glow-in-the-dark stars on your ceiling before you fall asleep. Keith could see Lance blush slightly. You haven't come out to your family as bi yet. They won't accept you. Lance's eyes widened. No one knew he was bi. No one except Keith. I hope you two are okay now. Yeah, the principal said. The principal came back in. Keith smiled, wiping a tear from his eye. Yeah, we're good. That boy, you're Keith, aren't you? It was 12:30 in the morning. Keith sighed. He didn't want to admit it. But he wanted to admit it, but also not. Although he already did kind of spill Lance's secret to Lance himself. You're gay. Who's Keith? That boy. Don't lie. You told me all the stuff I told you. How else could you know that? You're gay. I don't know Keith. Maybe Keith will pretend that never happened. He didn't want to think this whole time he's been developing feelings for Lance. He was a jerk. At least to Keith he was. That boy. Come on, Keith. You're gay. I really don't know what you're talking about. That boy. Okay, then. Tell me who you are. You're gay. I'm a boy who goes to school. That boy. Tell me your name. You are gay. Your name. That boy. Keith, stop. You are gay. I'm not Keith. That boy. Yes, you are. That boy. Your name is... Damn it, cracks. All I can read from this is your name is Keith, but I think I can read the rest after that. You're in my grade, and my friend. You and I got into a fight today, and we're sent to the principal's office. There you told me things I've only told you are gay. You're gay. Maybe you told him and forgot. That boy. Why aren't you admitting this? Stop avoiding it. I know it's you. You're gay. If we forget about it, then things can go back to normal. That boy. I'm not forgetting about this. You're gay. Why not? That boy. Because I realized what you meant. Keith frowned a little. You're gay. What do you mean? That boy. About being worth the wait. About how he didn't want to ruin your friendship. Keith's face lit up and he bit his lip. You're gay. I made a typo. I meant she. Keith, do you like me? Keith felt his eyes water. His heart was going crazy. You're gay. I'm not Keith. You're gay. But I guess you could say I have an attraction towards you. You're gay. I'm not Keith. That boy. How did you know... Did you know Kik has a video chat now? You're gay. What does that have to do with this? With anything? That boy, turn on your light and let's video chat. You're gay. No. That boy, why not? You're gay. I didn't pay the electric bill. That boy, shut up. Video chat. That boy, video chat with me. Keith's mind went blank. He wanted to reach over and turn his lamp on. He wanted Lance to know. But Keith knew this wouldn't change anything. You're gay. Even if I was Keith, it wouldn't change anything. That boy. How wouldn't it change? You're gay. You hate Keith. That boy. That's incorrect. I don't hate Keith. You're gay. You pick on him and call him names. You know he doesn't like it. Like that. He doesn't like you making fun of his mullet. That boy. Maybe it's because I like him. Keith felt his mouth go dry. That boy. Maybe I didn't know what to say to him. Maybe I figured he wouldn't ever like me back. Maybe I dated a girl to get my mind off him. Now that I think about it, she had shoulder-length black hair. Her eyes were a dark purple. Her skin was light. She looked a lot like Keith. That's probably why I went out with her. Even when I tried to stop thinking about him, I was still subconsciously thinking about him. Keith was shocked. He pinched himself to make sure he wasn't dreaming. That boy. I thought about you so much. You're gay. So, that boy. You stopped saying you weren't Keith. You're gay. Shut up, you dork. That's the end. How was that? I'll read another one of these one-shots later. This is Rainbow Star signing out. And don't drill a hole in your head.